Live. Hey, there we go, baby. Nice on time, nice and live.
It's going to say it, and boom, it says it.
That's it. How we doing, Brock? I'm excited about Tuesday's event, brother. It's gonna be a good
Yeah,
time.
man. Doesn't seem possible. Already next week. I was just thinking about it while I was at the gym this morning. I'm like, damn, that's next week. I can get my ready to rock and roll gear on.
It's one of those things where I think timing is perfect. I keep seeing statistics around realtors not closing deals or transitioning, not renewing licenses. I saw someone post yesterday about they're going into property management because they haven't closed deals, they haven't had enough interactions and met enough folks. So I think our timing of now money for real estate agents is perfect for what we're seeing and have been seeing in the real estate market around sales.
Yeah, 100%. Plus, you're going into the fourth quarter. One of our themes that we're talking about right now is finish strong, start fast. And we as agents need to understand, like, when we get into the holiday season, like, we spend the most money. Our credit cards are being whipped out. We're going to Christmas parties. We're going to dinners. We're buying gifts. We're trying to live a lifestyle that we really can't even afford. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is help agents afford the lifestyle, not have stress during the holidays, because it starts now. And if you start working on it now, you will get the money by the end of this year. And that's why I created the Now Money, to be able to help agents be able to live the lifestyle they want during the holidays.
I was gonna say it's all right. Well, let's just jump right into what. Sorry, what'd you say?
Nothing. I just started laughing because I was just like, but we'll jump it. We'll do whatever you like, man.
Let's jump in because I think what I'm going to go over at our live event, I just want people to understand a little bit deeper. I also
Yep.
want to hear from you exactly what you're going to dive into, because I know in real estate there's different ventures to navigate through. Some people work with investors, some people work with first-time home buyers, some people sell just to parents in their community because they've got young kids. Some people focus on church and operate a lot of business out of their church or their temple, right? Like, we've got all these different segments that you can interact with people. And I think that's the basis to Now Money, is understanding what segment are you going after? What segment are you communicating, interacting with, doing it consistently, consecutively, and saying the right things in order to bring in business from those interactions. And I know you work with the FSBOs, you work with expireds, you're on the phones a lot, which I think is such a great avenue to bring in interactions and customers and new clients. But I also think there's just all these different types of avenues. So let's just jump into a few. If you want to dive into kind of FSBOs and calling and what you're going to kind of be going over at the event, I think that'll be extremely beneficial. And then I'm going to dive more into some different types of interactions.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of those things, when I was broke, I needed money now. I needed money like right then and there. And I say poor is a mindset, broke is a season. And I've been in that season twice. And it's not a fun season to be in, but it's helped me get to the appreciating money, as well as understanding what it feels like to be broke. So when I talk to people and I share this, like, any financial person who's having some problems, like, I get it and I understand it. And when I wanted Now Money, I knew that I had to talk to people that are ready, willing, and able, and have already tried it. Well, that's a for sale by owner. They already got a sign up. They plastered it all online, so it made it easier for me to target them. And then there's expireds, because they've tried it already and they've been going through the process 3 months, 6 months to a year. So those are people that I already targeted and knew that they're ready. Okay. Now there's a lot of other people out there, and I work with people who do events and open houses and everything else. And yes, that is there. And I will give you strategies that night to share with you, conversations you can have, questions you can ask to see where they are in their timeline. But if you specifically, I'm leaning in right now to tell you that if you literally want money to buy Christmas gifts from December 1st to December 13th and have somebody even wrap them up, this is what you need to do. If this is not what you want to do, then we can do other things and we can work on your 2026. But this is for people who really want it right frickin' now. And you got to call FSBOs and expireds because they've already told us. And so I've learned how to do that, where I was just like, to be honest with you, I just was doing another post, and I'm not going to get into it, but like, if anybody wants to talk more about like buyers, if you took a buyer out tomorrow, they could put a contract out tomorrow and they could close by the end of October. Yes or yes? That can happen. And so we're putting a lot of attention into buyers right now because the best time to buy is in October. And we're sharing this with people. But you got to understand all that anything that I sell, anything that I put to, the most important ingredient, Jim, that will set the stage is there's an emotional level to it. And that's what I'm going to explain to them on Tuesday night, that once you get to this level, because I can give you the FSBO list, I can give you the scripts to say, I can give you the expireds. But if you don't know why you're doing it, it's not going to mean a damn thing. And you're going to be wishing and praying and pulling out your credit card, hoping that you're going to be able to pay the minimum payment in January, and then hoping your taxes or something comes into play to help you. And I want you to live a different lifestyle by earning your income and getting it before you have to go down that slippery slope. So those are some of the main things I'll be sharing.
Well, I think another key thing to remember here too, folks, is if you need now money, if you are not trending to hit your numbers for the year that you've built your budget off, or you've built your Christmas fund, or your vacation in the winter time because you've been grinding and hustling all summer, we've also got to realize that January and February are typically the slowest in the market coming off the holidays as well, right?
Because we're not doing our actions. We're not doing what we need to do. And so our cyclical business is 60 to 30 days after. But guess what comes in? Your credit card bills come in from all you spent in December, right?
That's a 30-day turn, baby. They want their money. You're getting those late fees. But that's the reality of, like, if you come to the event on Tuesday in Nashville, September 30th, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Music City Work Club, an amazing, cool, awesome venue, and you sit down with us and you talk to us and you listen. Like, we're going to kick off this event by actually starting the event to say, this is what you should look for and leave with. So we're going to actually prep you, and we're going to actually advise you on how to extract this information and actually go walk out the door with tactical advice and do it. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things that's important to me is to get the information, but have a challenge, have action items to walk away with to do. And then the beauty of that is we're going to ride that wave with you. Like, if we advise you to increase your interactions with investors and navigate this path because you have a knowledge in short-term investments, well, here's how you increase your interactions with short-term investors. Go do that as of tomorrow, as of October 1st, the day after this event.
And I can teach them, Jim, just simple things for our investors that are on here, what Facebook groups to go to. I'll tell them exactly what Facebook groups to go. We do over 100 investment leads or deals a year, and it's transformed my business when I got into the investing side. And this doesn't even include the real estate. So I will share with you what Facebook groups to go into, what questions to ask these investors, these wholesalers, to be able to learn, get referrals all across the country.
Yep.
This is an opportunity for you. Like, my bank account doesn't care what state I close in. All it does not. Like, wait a minute, that's from Oregon. We're not taking it, right?
I was just gonna say, and back to your point about now money, is that's another silo around who you're targeting that's ready to buy, right? And us going through those questions and that emotional state of understanding, because Brock, I know you've probably experienced this in the past. You've been doing real estate for a while now. I experienced it a few years ago in my journey, but undercovering and opening up the dialogue to understand their timeline as an investor, what they've bought previously, what they're looking to do, and really understanding, is this now money, or is this someone who has never invested before, wants to flip their first house, needs the perfect cosmetic flip, gets scared over a crack that takes some glue to fix, right? Like, these are the questions that we need to protect so you can sculpt your interactions. I think
Yeah.
that's so important, right? Brock's going to dive into the FSBOs, the expireds, where to get them, what to say, the emotional understanding of where someone's at, why it worked, why it didn't, if it was an expired. That's a great silo because they're ready. Like he had said earlier, let's look at the investor pool too. We need to make sure they're ready. They're not just shopping. They're not just you're one of 65 agents they're reaching out to. And we've got tactics and strategies to enhance your interactions specifically for those investors as well. So I'm just excited, man. Last time we had you come to Nashville, you absolutely crushed it. It was one of the best events we've thrown. I think we only put it up 3 weeks. I think we did it quick. We had a packed room. People were still talking about it. My friend Nick was just saying, "Oh, I seen Brock's coming to town. I got to ask him a couple questions about that disc training that he was talking about." And that was what, Brock, a year and a half, man. So he's still thinking about that
One of
disc
the guys,
training.
Taylor, too. Remember Taylor? Yeah,
Taylor,
he's
yeah.
still around. He's actually gets some of our referrals that we send out to you guys over there in Tennessee.
Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, man, I'm excited. Now, when it comes to the now money, when it comes to the conversations that you're having, Brock, what is one of the biggest things that you might have had to learn the hard way or fumble through when it comes to attracting the right people and getting that now money? Like, is it leaving voicemails? Did you struggle with that? Because I know I did when I started calling FSBOs. Was it, what to say when someone's angry, or what to say, if someone's just completely done with trying to sell their home? Like, what's kind of popped up for you that you kind of had to navigate the hard way that you're going to be able to dive in and teach some of the folks in the room next Tuesday?
So those that are listening, immediately you're probably going to say, I don't do phone calls. I don't do FSBOs. I don't do expireds. I do social media. I want to be able to do videos. Right
I
there
said
you go,
that
Taylor.
to Brock before, folks,
Yeah.
and then he showed me his system, and I was like, "Okay, I'm leaving millions on the table." But okay.
Well, and the thing is I do videos. You can Google me. You can look me up. I do videos. You can go to my YouTube, Instagram, and all that fun jazz and everything else. But really, it's overcoming thinking the grass is greener someplace else. Thinking that there's a quick button, the easy button, the quick fix. You think that there's these items out there that if I just do this. And unfortunately, I think one of the greatest coaches that I worked with that I even learned his roots comes from Earl Nightingale. And he was coached by, Earl Nightingale coached Mike Ferry. And Mike Ferry taught me the foundations. And then Mike Ferry taught Jeff Glover. And then I actually was Jeff Glover's first coach ever in his business. And not a lot of people know that. And I learned a lot. You learn through failures. Okay. Jeff's been around for a while. Mike Ferry has been around for a while. Earl Nightingale, God rest his soul. But it all starts with foundations. So everything I teach and coach doesn't matter what's going on in the business, what's going on in the real estate world, what's going on in the market, it works. It's kind of like when people say, I can either buy you the fish or I can teach you how to fish. And if you teach a person to fish, they will be rich the rest of their life. If you teach a person how to buy the fish, they will only be as rich as what the market and what indicates and what it is, what's there. I mean, how many algorithms change all the time? Right? Every
Totally.
time I go on to that, just when I think we got to figure, Brock, the Instagram algorithm is a little bit different now. We got to go to TikTok. Yeah. I'm like, enough of this. Like, okay, I can't handle it. But I can teach you what questions to ask when somebody engages with you. So for those of you who like, this is what I do, like I will still, my questions work for any type of platform. But what did I learn? I learned how to fail at it many, 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 many times. And then I tweaked it. And I was just like, okay, people hate scripts. That's why actually with my book, Turning Scripts into Conversations, is all about asking the right questions at the right time. Because just like baking a bread, if you put things in the recipe and you put the ingredients in at the wrong time, the bread might not come out the way that you want it to. And so I would share with you, Jim, that whatever it is that you want to do, I'm just telling you that FSBOs and expires for me have gotten me now money, even wakes up Leo sometimes back there, that it helps, it gets you what you want and gives you momentum, gives you energy, because when you get that first listing and you get that buyer and all of a sudden 400,000, they want to buy 500, that's 900,000, teaching you how to get a listing at 3.5% and getting the buyer at 3%. I don't know about you all, but that's a good chunk of change.
I'll take it, man. I'll take
Right.
it.
And that's only
Especially,
two. That's only two appointments. I mean, that's only two transactions. Because I think you told me the average person last year, 70% of the people did 0 transactions last year.
71%, the stats came out. 71% of realtors didn't close one deal last year. So if you're still in the game, if you're listening to this, if you see this online or on a friend's post, or you see us on Eventbrite, we're talking to you specifically. If you're not happy, if you're not satisfied,
You're
invest some
pissed.
time. Yeah, get pissed off. You should be. You should be upset because you're talented. The market's shifted. Things are different. All we need now is some new skill sets, and we want to provide those for you. We want to see our fellow realtors grow, and we want to see you close deals, because here's the thing, folks. I know Brock does a lot of deals. I've done a lot of deals. We've worked with a lot of poor people, bad realtors on the other side. We've worked with a lot of great realtors on the other side. We want you, because you're an ethical, good realtor, to continue to grow and have a lifetime career in this space, so we can do deals with good people and reciprocate that. And we can all walk to La La Land with bags of cash, right? Like, if you're in real estate, you have a skill set. We just need to fine tune that a little bit right now and tweak it. And we want to do it in person. Brock works for a national brokerage. He's doing deals in almost all the freaking states. He's all over the place. He's throwing events in Key West. He's doing partnerships, collaborations, coaching, getting on some big stages. And we want to bring all this knowledge that we've learned directly to you, because we don't want to see the industry lose great people like you. We just want to see great people like you move and enhance with the times to increase those sales. So
Amen.
If we're talking to you and you're not in the room on Tuesday, that's your decision to invest 2 hours of your time and energy in a cool place, Music City Work Club in Nashville, some food, some drinks. We're going to hang out. We're going to dive deep. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to dive into the tactical, right? This isn't a fluffy event where we get 3 random speakers who have never even been in real estate and just sell coaching to show up and talk to you. We're going to give you the real stuff. And I think that's what's so different about this is we've seen the market move. We've seen the strategies change, but there's been some consistency. And if you hammer down on those things that are consistent in any market, like Brock was talking about, that's where you're going to see the real growth. That's where you're going to navigate these harsh times. I mean, I was just talking to someone the other day, and they're like, man, I've got 7 listings. And I'm like, how many are past 190 days? And they're like, all of them. I'm like, how many buyers do you have? I'm so busy with these listings. I'm like, fire all of them. Fire every listing if you can't sell it, and start creating now money with buyers. Like, why are you spending all your time over here where we know listings are super hard right now? Get on the buy side. For someone like Brock, who's going to teach you what to say to get those new listings, those FSBOs expired, that's a completely different game because of what he said. They're already warmed up and ready. You've just got to use his framework and his tools to get them sold now. That's drastically different than you holding a listing for 90 days and then trying to miraculously get your client to fall in love with you, do a massive price drop, keep the deal and sell it. Get rid of those. I told him, I said, come to Tuesday's training. He signed up 10 minutes later. He signed up to our event 10 minutes later. He's like, I got to talk to Brock. I got to talk to you. I'm going to get rid of these listings. I'm attached to them. I haven't sold them. I just need to start fresh. I'm like, you need now money. Let's go.
One thing I will add to that, to you, for what you said there, Jim, which I agree, you got to fire them. I'm coaching a team down in Florida. So here's what I'm going to also add to that. So it's not going to be against what you said. I'm going to piggyback off what you said. So for those of you who have this, I want you to lean into what Jim says. One is, yes, you need to fire them if you can't get them to follow the journey that you need to be on. Meaning, I had this one girl, she's got 4 listings. And I said, you got 1 week to give them this script. And for those of you who have listings that aren't moving, I will give you the exact script and strategy and tool to use to be able to tell them it's either you're going to come overboard with me or I'm going to have to go in a different direction. That is called an abundant mindset setting instead of scarcity, hoping and praying and keeping them on there. And it's doing is costing you money and dust on your sign. That's all it's doing. But I will share with you what to do on how to move those, because that is the second best thing to have in reference to do that. But if they don't, just like Jim said, you cut. But if you got listings that are sitting, you bring them to me, bring the address and bring their phone number. I'll even call them right there and tell you what to say to them, and we'll get a price improvement. That's how easy it is. They will they'll say yes to you, or they'll say no, but you know where you are.
And I was gonna say, as you're like, bring your numbers and your addresses, and we'll do it together. I did want to just share this story. I was talking to Brock, like a month and a half ago, and he's like, "Check out this text message I got," and he just pulled it up, and we were talking about marketing and using that message. It was from a realtor in a different state, and Brock got on the call, talked to them, got the deal, saved the deal, and then they sold the $1 million home because Brock got involved. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a coach, folks. That's someone who is going to care for you and work with you and get you to the level of success you need. Now, Brock isn't taking every call with that realtor because he's trained them and they've followed the framework and the path, and they've done live calls together, and they've, grown. She's grown. But like, if you need now money, come with your problems to us. Get in the room. Talk to Brock about the listing that you can't sell. Talk to Brock about how someone just reached out and, they want to wait about rates. Talk to Brock about, it's $100 to get these leads lists every day, and you don't have a solid plan, so you don't want to invest $100. Like, Brock will probably give you a free code. I know he works with some of those lead generation companies and gives you 30 days free. So like, we'll eliminate the expense. And then also, too, friends, this is a free event. This is Brock and I investing our time and energy because we love realtors. We don't want to see great people become a statistic that leaves the market. And Brock's doing this every day. I said, Brock, get your butt to Nashville. We need to take care of some Nashville agents, okay? I hear all the stories in North Carolina. I hear all these amazing realtors growing up in New York and on his team in Florida. And I say, Brock, get to Nashville. We gotta get some now money in the pockets of our friends here in Nashville. And surrounding, right? Like, I've sold deals 3.5 hours south from here. I've sold deals in Memphis, right? So come on, if you're listening to this, you're in Memphis, you're down south and close to the Georgia border, you're in Chattanooga, come up, spend the afternoon with us. And heck, maybe we'll go out, grab a bite to eat after, and keep talking and keep diving into how we can help you and get some of that now money.
Yeah. No, I was on a show Saturday morning, 7 a.m. I'm an early bird, so I was like, okay. But 7 a.m. we had 115 or 117 agents, and they call it the firing round. And I told her name was Marilyn. She's like, all right, Brock, we're gonna do a firing round. I'm like, Marilyn, I'm a little nervous by that, but okay. And but basically what they did was they just peppered me with questions. It was agent after agent after agent after agent for an hour, about 45 minutes, because I had to share a little bit about me. But they just asked me question after anything and everything you can imagine, from artificial intelligence to taxes to building a business, when to hire. But that's what we're here for. Obviously, we're here to our main theme is now money, to be able to help, because money creates energy and it gives you more choices. The thought
Opportunity.
process of money is like buying you happiness. I mean, it definitely feels good. It will make you feel happy for a little bit, but really it just gives you energy and it gives you choices to be able to live a lifestyle that you didn't think was possible. And being broke, you don't have too many choices. It was either like ramen noodle soup or butter noodles. Like those were my choices because they were like the peanut butter and jelly. And then trying to pretend that I was somebody different with my 7-year-old and 13-year-old, and it was very, 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 very hard. And we don't. I want to be able to help people. And Jim, seeing what you do and how you bring in, and you really are empathetic to people. You really listen into them. And when you brought this up, I was just like, you know what, we need. I love to come to Nashville. I love Nashville. I've been there a couple times, and so now I know you're bringing some flavor to this event as well, and I'm not the only one that's going to be chit chatting it up there. Tell our listeners on those that are going to be there with us, like what are you going to be diving into to add some flavor to this recipe?
Well, one of the biggest things that I stumbled, fumbled, and completely messed up in real estate the first seven months was really understanding the type of interactions and what to say, right? So, I'm going, okay, I need money. This is a new career path for me. I am in a new city. I didn't grow up in Nashville. I only lived here for a couple years. I worked 100 hours a week and then I got drunk on Broadway. First moved here, right? So like I didn't really meet a lot of people. And one of the biggest things that I struggled with was understanding the interactions that we're going after and having a unique offering for those interactions. So let me give you an example. If I want to focus on first-time home buyers, how am I going to increase the interactions with those type of people? I'm going to give you a framework for that. Then we're going to move to investors. Where do I need to go? How do I need to interact? What do I need to say? What credibility? How do I protect myself against investors, right? I mean, I don't know about you, Brock, but I've worked with an investor who dragged me around. I've showed 60, 70 properties, put 3 or 4 contracts he backed out on, and he never bought anything with me, right? And I knew that, and I just didn't act on it because I needed money. So I want to talk about some of those things with investors as well. And then what's the language we're using to understand timelines and understand what system and framework to put them into. So for instance, you can have 100 interactions with all these great investors, but if they're not ready for 3 months or 6 months, let's put them into a system and let's focus on that now money people, right? Because the training we're talking about is how do we get money in your bank account before Christmas?
Yep.
And not just a deal that you referred out to, Oregon and you made 2,500 because you got 20%. Like we're talking about how are you going to get 700, 800, 900,000 $1 million listing, close those and bring in 20K, right? So understanding those interactions and then understanding the unique selling proposition, right? So what are you giving of value other than just locating the house, finding a good deal and closing it for them? And new home buyers, first-time home buyers, there's tons of lead magnets. There's things you can offer them to get them to speed up the process for that like and know and trust factor, all the way through to those people that are upgrading their homes. For instance, we use an AI agent. A friend of mine built an AI agent. We're using it to scrape homes where people have lived there for longer than 5 years. That's a specific interaction, a specific type of conversation. But if that's something that interests you, that reseller market, their second home, whether they're going to downgrade or upgrade, that's a specific interaction. That's a specific conversation. That's a specific strategy. And you have to have a unique selling proposition for those people. Because here's the thing, for those people specifically, they might have bought a home 5 years ago, but they used a realtor to do that. So why are you unique? Why are they going to use you who randomly called them or randomly emailed them or messaged them or send them a note card, right? You've got to be unique. So I want to really hear, and this is going to be very interactive because I want to hear why you listening to this right now think you're unique. What can you offer that I can't? Debbie, who's listening to this, or Bob, or Jessica, Jody made a comment. Peter messaged me on Instagram. Like, I'm talking to you, Peter. Why are you unique? And let's sculpt that. Let's build that, right? Because if me and Brock are talking about Debbie being unique, maybe there's something that sparks your mind, gets you to creatively think differently. So again, like I was saying earlier when we were talking about the September 30th event, Now Money, Music City Work Club here in Nashville, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Central on the 30th for real estate agents. When I was talking about that earlier, I really wanted everybody to truly, 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 truly understand specific interactions, specific unique selling propositions are going to be the key to get you to that now money, to let you have a great Christmas, not go into January stressed out. And Brock brought up taxes. I don't know any realtors, Brock, that are getting cash back. Okay. So if you're getting into tax season, you're going to need make some money if you don't have 30. I mean, I think I paid 30,000 last year. If you don't have 30K sitting around,
yeah,
you're going to need money for your taxes as well. So it's not just the Christmas gifts or, a great Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate and you navigate and in this season of holidays. It's more so about how you're going to get through it and crush it and feel really good going into 2026, going into January and February, some of those slower months, and have a system in place. So these interactions that you're talking to, Brock, and they're not ready now, you've asked them the right questions because we've given you the scripts and how to have those conversations. So okay, this person will be ready in January or February.
Yep.
Set you up for now, and then have to go into a system that sets you up for the next 3 to 6 months.
I love it, man.
That's what I'm going to dive into, brother. I'm excited because these interactions, man, this thing, it sounds so basic, but like I fumbled through this so much. And when I niched down, like I was always in the mind of like, well, I sell homes. I can't provide more value. It's like, no, that person who's owned a home for 5 years, I should be setting my favorite plumbers, my favorite mold specialist. I should be giving them all this information because they've lived in that home for 5 years on how I can help them and start the relationship now. But by doing that, I can start to ask questions and understand if they're ready now, which equates to that now money. So yeah, man, I'm fired up. I'm fired up to dive into. I mean, I'm laying out the whole book.
Well, you're just very creative.
I'm laying out the whole book, What did you say?
I love it. I mean, I was just saying you come up with, because a lot of people just don't, what do I say? What do I say? What do I keep saying? I've already had my initial contact, the second one, the third one. And really your creative strategy and how you present things that are outside the box, meaning like a different perspective of the engagement, that really the biggest word is the value that comes into play. My dad used to say something along the lines like, you don't bring sand to the beach. Okay. The sand's not a value to you. Be like, well, I got so much sand, but like, there's already some here. Like, we already have that. We don't need that. And then you ask the right questions to be like, what is it that you need?
Yes.
Because somebody out there might need a landscaper. Somebody out there, I was just talking to somebody because of what I do, needs a therapist. They're going through some mental conditions and mindset issues. They're just struggling. And there's a lot of people out there who are struggling and just trying to figure out the right mindset and what they need to do. We talked about attitude earlier today. Attitude sets your altitude. And if you have a piss poor attitude, it's going to go to your clients and you're going to be wondering like, wow, boy, they don't really want to be around me. They didn't really because it's your attitude. The point of it is you being creative, Jim, and listening to them and coming up with different ideas and strategies to make them circle back around to you, boomerang back around to you. But like, that Jim guy's always got some great stuff. He's got really some good stuff on what we need right now, because there's probably a list of things. If you lived in your house for 5 years, these are some things that they might need. And that's just a different approach and a different perspective, but you're giving them value. So I always take a lot of notes when I get done listening to you. You've been on our Mindset Podcast coaching program several times. You got still people doing the 30-day challenge on their Facebook, and they're still putting their content out there. and they're always tagging you. I'm like, look at Jim's getting tagged all the time because of your strategy. So hats off to you, brother. And I know somebody on Tuesday is gonna take something from you as well.
Yeah, I think it's just we're in that market. Like, let's just face it, folks.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got to be strategic. You've got to be creative, and it's not even so much like. And I'll give you an example. I called this person. I called this person. Started talking about their home. Started talking about, well, it's in terrible condition. I don't want to fix it. Right? Go through all that stuff. Started asking them about, like, like, is everything going on? Like, is everything okay with work and things like that? Like, I was out of work for a couple months, and I kind of didn't fix some stuff and it became bigger problems. We start having a conversation about what's going on in their life, right? They, they start, so you were talking about therapy. They start talking to me about, well, I tried to do this thing and this thing. All I said was, there's a custom GBT out there that you can just talk to. I wouldn't just call it your therapist, but I sent them a link because I saw a friend post about it, and it just talks to you. That's it. It's not telling you, hey, you've got
Right.
this or that, or you got to go do this, or you've got a substance. It's not that. Sent that to them. They were like, wow, this is great. I don't know much about AI. Started talking about how they want to implement a business idea because their business was failing. Now we're having conversations about business. Basically, what I'm saying is I connected them to about 3 or 4 different people. They've given me 2 or 3 referrals. They haven't bought, but they're giving me the referrals. So, like, just getting those interactions and understanding people, building that deep human connection, you can help people in stuff that's completely out of the realm of real estate. You can just be a human for another human. Heck,
Yep.
I just listened to that person. Then I gave them a solution because I didn't want to listen to them every day. So I gave them a
Right.
chat GBT, a custom GBT, and we provide value. We're ingrained in our community. Like, you as a realtor, you drive down the street, you're like, I sold that house. Oh, I remember that couple. Oh, we looked at that one. That one was a piece of crap. Why would anybody want to live there? Or, that realtor was crazy. I caught them in 7 lies and we still got the deal done. Like, you're driving through your community and you've got memory after memory after memory. Let's keep those memories building, and let's be a big member with positive impact to the community in any way that we can, right? Like, let's bring back real estate agents as these highly ethical, highly involved community members that are just making a ton of money and helping a ton of people in a ton of different ways. And if I can look through that lens, Brock, that's where I think we can create some creative strategies. I can work directly with folks during the event on how they can sculpt things, how they can communicate, and how they can lean into that human connection piece. So, yeah, man, I'm fired up. I don't want to give away all the juice because then it's going to be like, all right, well,
I already been there.
where's the surprise, and then I just want to end with, we want to ride the season with you, the market with you. This isn't an event where Brock flies in and it's see you later. There's no pitch here. We're not selling you coaching programs to work with us one-on-one on stage, right? Like, we are going to invite you to a couple things we do coming up, and that's about it. Let's keep in touch. Let's help you. Let's create some now money. Let's get you back on your feet. Let's get you closing some deals. So I'm fired up, man. I'm excited for Tuesday.
Man, thank you so much for this and this opportunity. I'm really excited what you're putting out to the agents and what you want to help them grow. It's just it's great just to see really true, authentic people out there that just want to help other people. And I just appreciate being in your circle, Jim, and everything that you offer people that are around you. I see your stuff on social media all the time. I'm like, I don't know how the hell this guy does it. You're doing like dinners, events, TED Talks. You're just nonstop doing something. And I'm just like, just trying to catch my breath here sometimes with
Hey,
everything
man,
that you got.
you got the book though, brother. I'm still writing my pages, so you're crushing it on that end. And I've seen the work. Like, here's the thing, folks. Let me just shoot you straight because this is how I roll. Brock's book made him millions of dollars He's taking everything out of that and giving it to you in real life scenarios based on what you're going through right now and challenges you have. It's already been vetted. It's already a published book. He's been doing this for several years. People pay him thousands and thousands of dollars to speak about this stuff on stage. People pay him, fly him around to go here, to do this, to get on these shows. He's on a podcast every other day. He's got his own show that brings in 40, 50 people every single day. There's no fluff. There's no BS here. We're going to give it to you straight. The only thing I ask is if you show up to Tuesday's event, you do the challenges, you do the work, because we're investing our time and energy. We want to help you, but we don't want to see you be what we see at all these events we speak at. The person who writes the notes, throws the book away mentally in the trash can as they walk out, and they just continue to complain about their wallet and their checkbook. And we're going to give you the solutions. We're going to walk you through them. We're going to be there to help you. You just got to take the action. So we'll see you Tuesday, everybody. Music City Work Club, right in the Nations here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a crazy cool venue. Really awesome stuff. We're going to dive into now money. We're going to teach you how to absorb the information before we teach you the information. So that way you focus on one thing, you leave with a specific challenge to your business, your industry, your specific niched market, right? Like, we want to give you this stuff. We want to navigate it with you. And we hope to see you there. It's 2 hours of your time, 2 hours of your energy. And we're going to give you about 10 years of experience that we fumbled through and had to learn the hard way in some cases to be where we're at today. So we'll see you Tuesday. Amen, Brock, brother. Anything you want to leave them with?
No, I can't wait to see you guys. It's always fun. I've always had a great time in Nashville. Looking forward to you all. Guys, seriously, bring your questions, bring your pipeline, bring people that you literally want me to entertain, not entertain, call. I have no problem with doing that. A lot of people get really, it's kind of crazy, Jim. They get joy. I got a number for you. And I love it. I love the challenge. I love those type of conversations. And I really, when you see my process and how I do it and the questions, like, you really don't need every single, like, I don't need a lot. Just give me the address and the name of the person. And really, I don't even need the address. So I'm really excited about it. Thanks for putting this together. Can't wait to see you guys all on Tuesday, and looking forward to engaging with you all.
Let's go. Let's go. I am dropping the link so you can register. We only have a certain number of seats that the venue has allowed, so grab it. This is a complimentary event. This is free to you. There's no expense. We can't do a now money event and charge you money for it. Like, we got to help you, and then you can come to the bigger events and navigate down some different strategies, right? Let's get you now money. Let's get you leads. Let's get you having conversations. Let's get some money in the bank, and we can move to some other stuff like some marketing and some outbound and some content and some things like that. So thank you, everybody, for listening and being here. We'll see you Tuesday on September 30th at Music City Work Club, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. for some Now Money with Brock Zevan and Jim Morris. We'll see you then.
See ya.